Hey everybody, and welcome to another Binary Ninja live stream. I am Jordan, one of the developers of Binary Ninja, and I'm joined today, if this works. Hey, it works, I see you. Peter, one of the other founders and developers of Binary Ninja. Welcome to the stream again. So we've got Peter on. We try to bring on different folks each week, depending on what things we're showing off or what we're going to do. And Peter's been working on something really nifty that we're going to bring out stream in a second. But the first thing I want to mention before we do that is that next week, a week from today, I'm going to take a week off from streaming. So If you haven't caught all the streams, which I imagine most people have not caught all the streams, there's lots of in the back catalog, lots of things you can watch, and they're all timestamped, so you can go to the sections that you're most interested in. Definitely go and check those out, and I'm going to enjoy a week off. But in the meantime, so we got 2 segments today. We're going to talk about using BinDiff, the BinDiff plugin, and we're going to use that to find. Yeah, for today is Hawaiian shirt day. That's right. I forgot to acknowledge my my shirt. It's casual Friday, even though we're all working from home. It's extra casual. I did actually buy this shirt specifically for like a Hawaiian shirt day at a previous place of employment. But anyway, there's a little flavor to the stream today. So we're going to be doing BinDiff in the second half, but the first half we're going to review some of the features and updates from this week. And because this was like literally landed in a test branch like an hour ago or less than that even, I'm going to be testing on my Windows VM. But Peter, why don't you describe kind of what you've been working on this week?
Sure. We've been working on, we've had our plugin manager for like years now. And one of the shortcomings of the plugin manager has been we don't automatically install any of the dependencies for any of the libraries, so it's a little bit cumbersome, right?
Like we knew we wanted
install.
To. Like we had the like in the spec we originally had like the section for dependencies, but we just didn't do anything with it. It's like, at some point we'll do something with that.
Yeah, well, this is some point. So, so now what we do is in our we kind of there's a few moving parts to this. So, like our we've got a repository that is essentially just provides the plugins.json. It generates that repository and hosts it, and all that a plugin repository really is the URL to a plugins.json. Now, in part of generating that plugins.json, we just grab the requirements.txt file from everyone's Python plugin and we shove it in that, so we have a list of the requirements. So not everyone has added a requirements.txt yet, so we've got to be a little bit we've got to make sure that people are adding those and not relying on anything being installed by default. But yeah, so it's a little bit funky because Binary Ninja, the core really knows nothing about Python, right? The core is built having a scripting provider as this like abstract thing. So I actually refactored all the stuff I did when I first implemented the plugin manager, and made it all part of the scripting provider interface. So now you can get a list of scripting providers, and one of those is going to be called Python. But people could create their own scripting providers. Most people don't even realize that.
I think like 2 people have ever even been aware of that or thought about doing their own scripting providers.
Like you could do a Ruby one or a Lua or something like that to be able to script in whatever language you want. And yeah, so then you can like look up the the plugins tell you what API that they're developed against. So then you can look up what scripting provider provides that API and then call the an API that I created that was like, okay, load these modules, install these modules. But pip is great, except for the fact that
no, it's not. It's so annoying.
I mean, like, it works. So
As
in
a
that
user of the
way,
command line interface, it is. And I will say, I was fighting
yeah,
Ruby gems earlier today, which are demonstrably worse, right? Like
yeah,
they're
probably.
super, super annoying. It's really easy to have like bit rot, like with our Jekyll webpage, for example. But
Yeah.
versions like
So
die a lot there.
yeah. Anyways, like, so pip can't be run as a library. Like it needs to be run as an actual like you need to subprocess, pass it the executable name, and then you can pass it the properties or whatever, the arguments. Um, but that also brings up a problem because um, we don't have like we ship and link against a libpython, which that's not it's something you can just execute. So like we don't have that anywhere. So like most of the day today was like writing a script that would, given a libpython, find the most likely version of, Python, the executable, that I could pass to pip, so, or pass the subprocess, so
That was really surprising
pip
to me
could
that
be run.
like even like on a modern Ubuntu, like when you just sort of assume like, oh, there's a libpython and it's like the Python core and that's what we instantiate to get our scripting provider. I just assumed like the executable Python calls the same thing. It calls the Python library. Like no, it doesn't.
You
It's
would
just
think, no,
it's just a
it's
totally
just,
separate thing, and you can have one or the other and not both, and the same version or
yeah,
different
you might
versions.
have
And
one, you might not have the other.
yeah,
It's really annoying. Like you would think it'd be like, okay, we have this small Python binary that's always linked against libpython. It's like,
no,
no.
no,
You'd think that there would be like, from one you could get the other in a programmatic, well-defined way.
no.
Nope. Like it's all just guessing.
So
Like,
hopefully they're good guesses.
yeah.
Well, and
So
we do have some
on like
things, right?
Windows and Mac,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy. It's like, okay, this is the version of libpython we're loading. We go to the bin directory in the same path, and then it's the Python. Like, so it's the Python of the same version, right? So that's easy. But Linux, it's like, oh yeah, I loaded, user uh libpython. Like, what one does that correspond to? Well,
It may not even be there. There literally might not be. You could actually
right.
install just the library and not have the
Yeah.
executable, like, or the other way around.
Yeah. So, most likely it's in user bin or user local bin. And, so I can, I just do that. I just look in the bin version of whatever lib is it's being loaded from. So
So it was
I
one.
think that's pretty reliable, but
Yeah, we'll find out, I'm sure. But
yeah,
but
I'm
but
sure we'll have some people probably on Arch that have something completely different.
it'll almost certainly be Arch. But before we actually get into the demo and show some of this off, one of the other related things that you were working on was virtual environments, right? Like, tell me about how you've been working with
Yeah.
those.
Yeah, so you know, virtual environments are I think most people should probably use virtual
I
environments
love
if
the
they're
idea of
going to
them. I just
be,
never use them. Like,
well,
it just seems like such a
I,
nice, good practice,
I
and then I
mean,
always get out of the habit.
yeah, well, the problem is, so like I would recommend, so everyone, like, if you're going to install Binary Ninja and you want like automatic plugin loading, to actually install a virtual env. One, because I wrote the code and it might be screwed up. um Two,
Fair, fair.
um it, we're just going to install whatever versions of whatever libraries, and if you have it configured to run on your native Python install, who knows, like if you've got a dev box, or that you rely on certain versions of certain packages, then yeah, you definitely need to be setting up um a virtual env. If you're kind of just like, if you don't do much dev, you don't have a lot of Python scripts, yeah, it'll be fine. Like
All right, well
mostly.
let's switch over and switch into our build. So this is a test build, and so to clarify, that means we're still testing internally. You gave a nice caveat earlier with the
Yeah.
be careful. Like this is we're execing pip. We're finding sort of dynamically the right Python, and so this is still very early. It's still in testing. Hopefully we'll have when it lands on dev, we'll get some more testing. But test is for like stuff that's even more risky than dev, right? We want it to be a little bit more had a little more time to bake. So this is a test build on my box, and I've got like a virtual env path right here. So I think, yeah, so I actually haven't even made that. I'm going to make that virtual env. I just deleted it. I had one there earlier. So I've got a virtual env there, and so I'm going to restart. So I changed this. This is a setting that only exists in this test branch, right? This is one of the ones you added, was that
Mhm.
virtual env. And then the other thing that I had to do, well, I'll talk about that in a second. So let's just restart that. Um, all right. Oh, look at here. So this just gave me an error warning, and this is because that I've been messing um, with this process a little bit. So let's go to the plugin manager, and yeah. So that's I like to show off your little hints. Oh, and actually, is this
So
also?
the issue that he's having is like he's now pointing at a virtual env, so none of his actual flat buffers is not
Dependencies, right,
installed.
were installed.
Dependency, yeah.
And also
So
this,
I now need to have something like a button that's just like install dependencies or
yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
But actually, there is something like that. You can just if you do Command P and type install. Yeah, there you go.
no, there we go. So I could do the dependencies right from there, and that's
Yeah, you
backed
could
by the
just do
same
flat
API.
type flat
Yeah.
buffers, and it just
All right, so
puts it right in
let's do
there.
that. Let's try. So this is not the normal way people would be doing it, but
Yeah, this is just
it's
convenience. Like,
buffers.
let's say you're scripting, uh,
Okay.
you're scripting something up in the console, and especially if you're using like the built-in Python, the Python that we ship, you kind of like, how are you gonna install a pip package there?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. That's
you
been a
don't
complaint of
necessarily
users for a
know what
while. Yeah.
version it is. You don't necessarily know what version we have. Like, we can tell you what to do, but it's annoying.
So I don't know if
But
this is
this makes it way easier.
yeah I don't know if this is coming through on the stream because it's kind of a small little tooltip, but I think you also added
Yeah,
this too, right? Is this
yeah.
also in the
Oh,
test branch? Yeah. So that you
yep.
get there's a whole bunch of little secret words that I think a lot of people don't know, and so if you just hover there for a second, you'll get some of these hints. So I was using at install because I knew that I had only one plugin installed and I wanted to select that, but that's kind of nice too. You can see, or you can see like just show me the official plugins for the official repository, and they're also nice and highlighted there. So that's kind of some other new quality of life improvements that are coming here. But yeah, so let's do this again. Let's actually uninstall this plugin entirely. Let's remove it.
You got to
And
restart.
it's gonna have to restart. Actually, before I restart though, I'm gonna go and remove my um yeah, let's restart it.
I don't need to.
It's gonna complain potentially about that. Yeah, I just want to like nuke it. I want to have the dependency not be there. Start like all fresh. So I've got a virtual env. And again, like to clarify, I didn't need to do the virtual env, right? I could have just done this just in my normal system Python. I just want to keep things a little bit clean, especially while we're testing with this. And that setting too was also under Python in here, right? In the settings. So you can see I've actually got a couple of non-default settings. And by the way, I think you can do at user or at modified here as well too. Similar, this kind of like similar keywords that the plugin manager has. So a couple of places where you can do filters like that. But I can somehow all my non-default changes. But so the Python settings, yeah. So what I've got is I've got my virtual env specified. And then there was also a couple in the plugin manager here too. So I'm just switching over to the test channel because like some of these changes that you're making behind the scenes haven't been pushed to the official
Yeah.
public
And that other setting that we talked about is right below there, which we haven't talked about, which we
Yeah,
can get
that's
to after.
that's well, let's demonstrate this, and then we'll go back
Yep.
to that one. So let's so I should be able to now go to the plugin manager and SIGKit, which does have dependencies, and there's no like installation instructions anymore because there's nothing to do, like it's installed for you, right? So um and it's going to warn me it needs these dependencies. I think we're going to remove PySide because we're providing PySide in Binja as well.
Yeah,
So we
I
can,
specifically, even when you're in a virtual env, I add in our PySide path so
yeah,
that it's
you definitely
actually,
would want to be using our version of PySide even if you had a separate one.
yeah.
So is it okay? And we've got a little spinny bar update in oh, it's a tooltip too. Update in progress. Dependency is installed. Plugin loaded. So I should be able to. Let's open up a file and signature kit library, right? Explore, generate. We can do whatever we want. It'll be able to work with flat buffers, right? So yeah, I think that's a super nifty thing. It's definitely we've had a number of people be like, why do I have to specify the dependencies in my plugin if you're not going to install them for us? And so now we are. Now it's going to
Yep.
come with it along with some other quality of life stuff there. So yeah, that's nice. Oh, let's go back to that other one. This is also really kind of interesting, I think. You were talking at the beginning about how plugin.json is really just a JSON file that happens to be hosted on GitHub right now for the
Yep.
community
On
and the
GitHub.
official one. But what is what are these options about?
Yeah, so this is a kind of a cool feature. Let's say you've got some plugins that you want to share with your friends or your coworkers. You can actually just you can clone our same repo. You probably want to fork it or whatever, and the official plugins or the community plugins on GitHub, and this has like some scripts that are helpful,
Like the management scripts there.
but essentially all this does is create the plugins.json. So and most of the stuff in here is not like, well, there's one particular key value pair that's like mostly not needed, because it's just like the big giant one I just get from Git, or from
Oh, like
GitHub.
all this stuff right
Like,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
like
the only thing that's used for is actually the number of stars. So it's like this giant field, and it's just like I just pull out the
well,
stars.
maybe one day
But
we'll
there
use
was
the rest of
other
the data.
things I was like, oh, I might want to use these at some point. So yeah, so now you can specify your own URL to your own plugins.json, and then all those all the only thing that that we really need to be able to install a plugin is the requirements.txt and a zip file. So if you open up the plugins.json,
Yeah. From like the
you can,
repository. Yeah.
yeah, you can actually see like
Oh,
okay,
the .zip
like
that
all
it's
this stuff is pretty simple, and then scroll down, and then there's going to be a URL, author URL, and a package URL. It's like right at the top.
well, it's right here on
Close,
this
right
one.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, author URL, package URL, and those are just like zip files.
Well,
Um,
this one is right. This is not. This is just the main GitHub.
right.
Yeah.
Uh,
And so now, and
and
this syntax is this is from releases on GitHub, right? So like this is when you go to like the Kaitai plugin
right.
on GitHub and you're hitting, not API. Um, I probably should look at my ears a little more closely. Yeah, right. So it's the fact that there's a release here. The same way that you can hit a release and you can download like the zip here, it's actually made kind of on the fly by GitHub. That's the same thing.
Yeah, that's basically exactly what's downloading.
Okay.
And The commit, I think the commit is only used like at one point. This whole thing was like Git based,
Mm-hmm.
but I think we just use the commit now to make sure that it's different. that
Yeah,
um,
it's been updated. Yeah, there was. We thought it would be cool to use like just native Git and have all the Git APIs, and then it's like actually that's just overly complicated. We need something that can download, and we
yeah,
already know the version
just
number.
needs
We
a
know if it's
zip.
changed. Yeah, we can extract
Well,
it.
it was very helpful that like you know GitHub provides the ability to like get a zip ball of these things. So
Yeah. So now back over to this one. Same sort of thing. You basically just give it a plugin to JSON, and you could use our tools and you could use GitHub URLs, and it would just work if you had the same release process.
right,
But you could also come up with your own packaging bundling, as long as you had the same features in the plugin.json. Um, and these names here are used, I guess, in the plugin manager itself, like the fact that it's the official
yeah,
versus community. It's okay, so it's going to go
yep.
into there.
And
And
there'll be a different there'll actually be a little different color
okay, nice.
as well for the
Any plans to add more, or is somebody just limited just the one extra? I guess you could always like combine them
yeah.
too, right? You could combine plugin
Yeah,
JSONs
if
from multiple
if you're
ones.
doing a third party thing, like when we get people requesting multiple third party things, that'll be I'll add the feature.
It'll be a good
Until
problem to
then,
have. Yeah. Chat's a little quiet. You guys not as interested in I see people are trickling in, but I'm curious if y'all think this will actually be useful, or if most of you are like, yeah, I just pip install manually anyways. I know virtual envs have definitely been requested, and there are people who play around with using virtual env, like launching Binary Ninja inside of one to sort of get the same effect. But I think it's nice that it's sort of first class. Yes, Zaris, you did requirements.txt. So we're moving away from the way that it was formerly, right? So it used to be when you submitted a plugin. Where'd my mouse go? Oh, yep. Sorry, pardon me while if I accidentally mouse into the bottom corner, I trigger sleep mode. Um, it used to be if you submitted a plugin to like the official or the community repository, for example. We could pick any of these plugins here. You would write your plugin to JSON, and inside of it, you would I really need. So I forget Python 3 has changed. You can't do. Used to be able to do like the pretty print stuff, like python-m json.tool. Do I have Python 2 in this box? Okay, good. I still do. Oh, that syntax is just the worst. If I force that, it'll turn it off. There we go. So this is like the standard format that you would submit stuff to, and it used to be you would put your dependent. You would put there was like a section for dependencies. Yeah, somewhere in here. And it wasn't actually documented, but it was kind of left over, and some people were doing it, and so you'd see like pip and then packages listed here, but we weren't really doing anything with it. And Peter's like, why would we do that? There is already a Python standard for dependencies. It's called requirements text, and you just add that. And actually, you'll notice some of these plugins already have it.
yep.
So in fact, I just saw, where was it? What are the other ones?
If you
I was
want
looking at.
BNCov was one that has it.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, Mark is sometimes on the stream too. Yeah, so people that were already kind of building. And now he's not specifying a version. I think best practice is to pin it to a version for plugins, right? Especially because you're releasing a release, at a release point, you should know what the latest version that you've tested got it working with, and by specifying that, like you can kind of lock things in when it's installed in the plugin manager, which is kind of nice. But we'll see if that ends up being kind of long term conflicting with different ones, or I don't know, like eventually how that might actually work. But oh, there we go. Somebody even says in chat they've already got a third party repo. They're gonna have to like fix it up and get it cleaned up. So yeah,
Nice.
that'll be a nice feature too. So cool. I think that's it for this one. Any other changes that you slipped into this release?
Yeah, trying to think. It was like 20 commits or something.
Yeah, it's like get log and read all that, get the commits real quick.
That's
Well,
pretty much it.
while you're thinking about that, and if you want to hang out for as much or as little of the rest of the stream, you are welcome to. It's always nice to have another voice, but
Gotta
you
feed a couple little kids. So
go keep the girls from getting crazy. So cool. All right, well, it's good to
all
have
right,
you on.
guys. Yep.
Chat with you later.
Later.
All right. So let's kill this this one, and I'll have to clean up my settings later. Let's get back into this one. So we've got a couple of other nice things that landed. So there's a test build. I don't want that. I think this one. Let's see if this is my dev build. Yeah, this is the latest dev build. And also, I'm playing with different. Uh-oh, message retracted. I didn't catch it. I didn't catch it fast enough. So yeah, I'm playing with different themes each week. But if they're annoying to see on stream, let me know, and I'll happily change up the the stream colors. So this one is. Let's see, what's this one currently? I mean, I installed them all. I installed all the base 16 ones. So yeah, this one's Gotham. I kind of like it. I was going back and forth between a couple of different styles. So yeah, if you actually grab the base 16 repository of themes, you get a ton of things that have been automatically generated. In fact, they actually have a base 16 node in addition to the regular node. Yeah. This was, and actually this one. So 35 community themes. Yeah. So Gotham is one of the first party ones that wasn't one generated by there. So who did Gotham come from? I'm trying to remember who. I don't remember who actually submitted that one. Yeah, but thanks to the author of the Gotham theme. It's kind of a nice. It's got some contrast, but it's not too crazy. So, yeah. So, virtual M's are a thing. Hopefully, as soon as that makes it through some more testing. But yeah, let's look at some of the other fun stuff that's been added just in this last week. And Brian's here on stream, so yeah, synthwave is nice too. It's a little bright. Some of them, the bright ones, I don't know if they translate as well on stream, but they might. I'm happy to switch it up. So let's see, make sure I get my notes right. Right, yeah. So what Brian just landed, this one is on dev right now. So if you have the latest dev as of about an hour ago, you can get this new feature, which is so this binary is just this really tiny little. Oh no, I can't use this one. Look at that. The highlights are off. It doesn't show me the line I've got highlighted. That's it. All right, we got to switch to synthwave now. I'll do that one. Was it synthwave or is it straight? Yeah, synthwave. I actually like purple lately. I've been digging lots of. There we go. See, you gotta see highlights. So this is like just a really tiny hand generated kind of simple binary with a jump table, with some byte offsets into the index, and I forget exactly what makes it unique. Brian can kind of chime in with it, but what's interesting is that by default, it's a really hard one to kind of analyze to get the results for, and so if you go under tag types in the tag viewer here, you'll see there's two new ones that automatically will identify unresolved indirect control flow. So if you've got like a problematic binary or a binary where like all the code's not being found, one of the most common reasons why is because we couldn't actually identify all the code paths, and one of the most common reasons why we could do that is because of indirect control flow, whether it's virtual function pointers or whether it's some weird jump table construction or anything like that. You'll get jump reg, and if you can't calculate the bounds on that register, you don't know all the places it could go. Like you lose track of actual code paths. So now you can actually just turn this on. And you'll notice that as soon as I did that, it turns on these tags right over here. So this is like, tags, you could have categories. I'm talking slow now. Uh-oh, what happened? Oh, was my video weird? Yeah, so enabling this one now over here, you can see I've actually got this tag at this particular address. And if, and this is a tiny binary, but if I happen to be working through a list of them, I can go through here. Now you'll notice the tag is showing up 3 times because the tag system is address based right now. Oh, nice. You missed the beginning of the string. So now you just, I talk pretty fast. I bet 2x has got to be, it's got to be spicy. So that's actually kind of nice that you can do that with a YouTube stream. Get like come in late, rewind the bidding, and then spin it up. So because this tag is set at this particular address, right? And if we look at the actual assembly, let's go back to let's go graph. You can see in assembly there's only the one, right? There's only the one location, and that same tag shows up there. It's also, and the cool thing too is you can actually change this question mark if you want. Can't you? I think you could edit a tag afterwards. Maybe it's only the API. Yeah, like when you create it, you can set it, but I thought you could do it after the fact too. Oh, maybe it's because it's a built-in type. You can't. Interesting. Maybe that's intentional. But anyways, you can see they each get like a little different emoji. So the question mark here is like a nice little like something's going on. We can't resolve all the possible jump targets here, and so you get the tag. So Brian's added that, and I think that also came with a small fix for regression with some background thread notifications. So the way that notifications for background threads go to the status bar down here. They were getting clobbered, and he fixed that really quickly earlier today. And the last major change I want to mention that happened this last week was for one of these big outstanding bugs that I think have been several people were interested in. So if you look at the close, so there's the background thread ones Brian just fixed. All right, I guess I fixed that too. The downloads on PDBs were actually broken. We're going to be doing that a little bit later on stream, so I can talk about it more then. But where'd it go? I thought it was here. No, I know it was here. Closed, sort by, recently updated. That's what I want. That's why. It's an old bug that was recently closed. There we go. Is it this one? Yeah, this was it. Oh, maybe that did get landed right before the last stream. I thought this was after the last stream, but either way, there were a couple of times in high-level IL where you'd see like bare calculations with the assignment just gets lost because they weren't needed and they should have just been removed. Those now should be. So that got landed as well. And when did he actually do this? So it says 8 days ago. Never mind. I probably already talked about that last week and just forgot. So all right. So that was not new. All right. Anybody have any questions about other stuff from this week or the stuff we already talked about? If not, what I'm probably going to do now is we're going to play with BinDiff. So this has been something I've been interested in doing for a while, and I tinker with a little bit. I started playing with some of the dependencies to make sure I could kind of run it, although I'm going to go through it all again now and show you kind of the process. It's not point and click and download, unfortunately, because this BinDiff is a native plugin, so you've actually got to build it. You got to get the headers and the APIs. But you get much better performance out of it as a result. And at some point, there may be releases for that, maybe for stable builds, for example. Excuse me, much the way that people will do with native IDA plugins, where they will ship those out. Let's go on in. I don't see any other things in chat, so let's just jump into BinDiff. So actually, first let's talk about BinExport, right? Because BinDiff is actually a couple of different things. We got a question. Is there a plan for native plugins beyond smuggling? So that's still the main plan right now, having your own little bootstrapping script in Python that will load a native one. We have made a couple of recent changes, though. If you remember from a couple weeks back, I talked about how the native plugins now do have a versioning system in the API. In fact, actually, I had an old build of BinExport in my plugin folder on my VM when I was testing stuff earlier, and the newer BinJob was like, yeah, no, I can't load this because the API has changed. So it actually did what it was supposed to and caught the version difference. I've got to actually trigger a new build of the API. So we'll see what fun I have with that process now. But so they're a little bit more robust in that regard, because it used to be if you had a version mismatch like C plugins do, you could potentially just crash, right? That's kind of the joys if you don't have any other kind of extra versioning if the actual one installed is not the version you expected. So that's the currently the only plan. Do a wrapper. The difference though is that we do want to do an official wrapper. We haven't talked about that a little bit, but one of the things on our to-do list of Vector35 is we want to have our own like example, like that shows kind of how you can kind of do it more smoothly. So that's the current plan for it. Yeah, not as good as I would like. We'll see. There's a lot of a lot more complications potentially with native plugins. How do you deal with like native plugins with dependencies? Do you make them all be statically linked? But they still have to call into the core. Everything else is static. Yeah, so there's some. And do we build them on our infrastructure and package them up and put them in, or is that a requirement from other people? They submit them to have them pre-built for all three platforms because that's a pain, or they just submit for some. So yeah, all that stuff still to be decided. So I think for now we're gonna just do the wrapper way. So BinExport is basically so Dynamics, which was a reverse engineering company that Google acquired. What was that? 7 and 8? No, it was a while ago, years ago now. I think it was 7 years ago, but I have to go double check. They have made several cool tools like BinNavi, BinDiff. What else? What was the other? There were three main 3-1 BinDiff. Somebody will remind me of it. And now that they've been inside of Google, they were paid commercial stuff. Google's been open sourcing them and releasing them for free. So BinDiff is like one of the preeminent tools for. I've got 2 versions of a binary and I want to know what changed. Diaphora is one of the other ones. What's the other one? There's a couple of other ones. There's Hashishin, which is a newer one built on Binary Ninja that has some kind of similar properties, but it's not really for diffing. It's just for similarity matching, which ends up being related but a little bit different. But there's another older one I'm trying to remember that hasn't been updated in a while. But there's been a couple of different tools. It's really useful for like bug hunters when Patch Tuesday comes. Which, speaking of which, this week we had some fun ones, and so that's what I want to do. Is I'm going to open up that. I got a VM where I snapshot it before and after my Windows update, and I just pulled out Win32k full.sys, which apparently has a. In fact, I thought let's see, did I bookmark that? I don't know if I actually bookmarked the page that I was looking for. But there was a nice write up. Where'd my bookmarks go? Bookmarks. Yeah, good. I did bookmark it. All right. So this was a write up of the exploit used in this particular CVE number. So I don't know how far through this process we're gonna get, but I'm gonna start kind of from the ground up, and we'll go through it. So BinExport does basically use a reverse engineering tool like IDA or Ghidra or Binary Ninja, and it will export information about the binary, mainly the control flow, the basic blocks, and it will pull that all out of the analysis tools, and then it will use that. So BinDiff itself actually will generate an analysis based on these exported data files. So it's just like this intermediate step that was kind of used in several of the Dynamics tools. And it has a Binary Ninja plugin, which is nice now. So you notice the main docs don't really say anything about Binary Ninja. It's all talking about doing it in IDA, but we've got a Binary Ninja subfolder, and this is actually on even the main branch of it right now. So it's even got another cool trick where it will actually grab the Binary Ninja GitHub API for you as a dependency using CMake and pull it for you. So one of the nice things is because the Binary Ninja API is open source, you can actually do it that way. So it actually will pull down. I forget how it actually implements that, but it pulls it. So let's give it a whirl and see. I did this once most of the way several weeks ago. So let's see what we got. BinExport. Yeah. I don't remember if I had to add that or not. Let's see. We don't have anything. Oh no, there was. Build options. Shouldn't be using that. Okay. So Binary Ninja. Now let's double check and look at the README. I think there is a section on binary. Oh. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so here is building BinExport. So once you've got a prerequisites, which I did once, so thankfully we shouldn't have to do that again. We should be still okay. So let's do this. Let's BinDiff, BinExport. And let me know if the font sizes need to change too. Let's see, build Mac. No, I don't want to build Mac. That's I'm probably in the Mac section. Oh, okay, this is the Linux section. Oh, there we go. This is the Linux one now. Yeah, okay. Sure, we could follow that. Build Linux. How's everybody doing this evening? I'm hot here. I don't know why, but I got really warm in my office today. Need more air circulation. All right, I'm gonna warn you in advance. I'll make a typo. See who catches it first. See if I say this now, then when I actually do make a typo, it'll be like I did intentionally. This shirt is what makes it hot. Oh, not that kind of hot. Yeah, it could be. Maybe it just, it's like being in Hawaii. You know what? I don't know why I'm typing this. We definitely don't need the IDA configuration line. So let's do it without that. And let's see. Should get all the configuration incomplete errors occur. Do I have to actually give it the IDA one? Yeah, it really wants an IDA one. Oh, I think I actually... Let me see. There's another way. I don't have this in my command history. Did this before and I got it to build without having the IDA SDK around. I'm trying to remember which one I did. Public names. If BinExport enable IDA Pro. Okay, so we should be able to set that to false. Brian, I did call out you as having the sunglass emoji today for your for landing that. So maybe that's what's making it all warm. Okay. So somebody, oh, I've already forgotten the thing. What was it again? Actually, let's just do it over here. CMake. Where did it go? BinExport enable IDA Pro. Okay. So I forget the CMake to disable. -D to define it. That was not it. So false off. I don't remember here. Let's see. So I'm always torn between showing the full process and pre-gaming things too much. And so this is the balance of, I did it once a couple weeks ago, so it's going to still feel pretty broken as I figure things out on the fly or things have changed. Enable IDA. I think I got an extra O missing. Pro equals false? I don't think that's right. Maybe it is. Oh, right, Ninja. I use Ninja for... let's just do that again without Ninja. I don't remember if I used Ninja before or not. Right, CMake build.config release. All right, let's see how it goes. Apologies if you hear neighbors out the front. I've actually opened the windows up today to get a little fresh air. All right, so this is building our plugin, and I guess in the meantime, I really need to figure out how to get those splits to go vertical when I want to do that in the window manager I'm using now. cd BinDiff. Yeah, so I'm not even going to bother with the install. I'm just going to like symlink straight out of there. cd.binary ninja plugins. Bin. Let's kill the docs. Let's let's kill the docs. BinDiff. BinExport. Build underscore Linux. And where's it going to end up? Remember where it's going to end up. We'll see. We'll let it go. Yeah, so the idea is that once we've got this built and we've got our version, we shouldn't have to rebuild it until we upgrade Binary Ninja. So if you are living on Deb, you would be doing a lot more builds, which is a little bit more work. But yeah, we'll see. It would be nice to have things a little bit more stable. Excuse me, make things a little bit easier. And to be fair, I like doing things in a VM that only has like 2 cores on it. So if things work reasonably well here, it should definitely work well kind of in the real world. So I'm not cheating and using like an overpowered box. I think a new M1 Mac Mini would be faster than this machine at this point, being a VM. Oh, anybody else got Binja questions? Everyone just hanging out? Just kind of got me in the background. Curious what else is going on. Man, it is warm in here. Maybe it's time for another button to open up here. I mean, I feel like a Hawaiian shirt can be. Oh no, no. Uh-oh. What do we have here? String fortified warning. Well, that's an awful nasty looking. Wait, did it, was it a warning or is it an error? Did it complete? It does say 480, 480. Let me see here. So we've got Binja core, which is like a stub lib it can link against. Hey, no, we got an SO file. All right, no, we're good. I think that error can be safely ignored. So build Linux, binary ninja, and BinExport. We're going to put that in our plugin directory, and we're going to restart our Binja. And let's see if we... Oh, no, that's right. I might actually have to switch back to an older version of Binja. I'm going to run stable because I have to change the plugin to declare the version to deal with the mismatch. And I don't think I want to mess with that right now. So let's do this instead. But let me see if that API mismatch, is it going to be pulling from dev or stable when it pulls? I wonder. I still don't know how it's actually pulling from. Oh, there it is. Okay. Bin export depths. You make git repository. So fetch content declare an API, the tag. Okay. Oh, same file. Okay. Oh, okay. So he's currently pinning it to. Oh, that's why it's actually not working. I bet if I rebuild automatically. So if Rusty's on stream, Josh, I would update the plugin on stream because he could probably walk me through it. But if Rusty's not watching the stream right now, I don't think I could try. But again, I'm I'm the worst with native plugin development in the company, so that's probably a risky thing. But and especially because the build system is pretty I won't say complicated, but it's robust in BinExport. Like it's got a lot of moving parts. So if you enable, oh, you can specify the channel and you can specify stable. If you don't, it's going to pin it to. So actually, okay, no, let's do this. I think I can, yeah, I think I can get this working. Put the macro and plug it into CPP. So I think I also have to fix this though, Rusty, because if like his CMake stuff is pinning it against specific hashes on the Binja repo. Maybe we'll just try that first though. Let's try that first. Let's get the exact. All right, there we go, Josh. You get no excuse. We're doing it. We're gonna update it. Let's copy that. So, BinExport, C binary ninja, main plugin.cc, and actually put the header file, which is empty. Whatever. Declare. Would be the first to the last time Rusty saved. Okay, so declaring this as what? What do I just call this? You say that, but actually, I had a support chat just earlier yesterday, where somebody was emailing a question about Binary Ninja. They're like, I can't, there's a function that's missing. It's not really showing up. And they took a screenshot of where like the function wasn't showing up. And I had previously described like general situations where it could happen. And all right, nice. Let's try it again. And so this is where, yeah, so I think I need to get the latest Binja. So let me, on this box, get the latest API commits on Binary Ninja hash and update the build script as well there. I think I have to update that. Otherwise, the API it's trying to build against won't match anyway. So let's go grab this. All right. Oops. CMake depths. What was that one called? AG. What was that? Here we go. Right. Okay. So we don't want stable. We want to be here. And that's our new hash. So I might have to run CMake again because it's probably going to want to see build Linux. See. Do this again. Didn't look like it downloaded anything though, which has me suspicious. I'm gonna nuke this. I don't believe that. Because it's got to get the whole API there. Maybe you can actually, if it already has it checked out, it just needed the commit hash and they would switch to it. So maybe that was actually sufficient. I don't know. But either way, we're going to do that just to make sure. So we'll do our configure again. Let it go. All right. And now we're going to build, release. And let her go. Wait, and now I have to build the protobuf again. Oof. Wait a minute, I didn't have to do this before. I don't remember. It's all right, we'll let it go. I can finish my story. So yeah, so the user who was asking a question said, uh, like, hey, I've got this binary and I've tried this other RE tool and it's able to find this function. Binary Ninja does not find the function. I said, well, there's a couple of different reasons that can happen. One is the permissions on like this segment or section can be off. Binary Ninja, if something is not marked as code, just doesn't. Yes, that means malware can, lie about that and make it harder to find code, but you can change it. You can edit the permissions yourself, or you can cause it to be found that way. It could be that it's got like type information that's missing, or analysis is getting messed up, or there's just no RE tool is perfect, but I don't know exactly what's causing it. And the person was like, "Oh, unfortunately, I can't share this file with you. I can just show kind of a couple little snippets." And I said, well, then let's do this. Find the last, like, walk up the dependency chain in your other tool where you found cross references and it did find a function. Find the last function that both it and Binary Ninja had. He goes, oh, well, like the one right before the one that's missing is there, and there's this, there's an indirect function call. And I said, okay, well, maybe it's, as we were just showing with the other change that Brian just made, maybe it's like not tracking the analysis data, or maybe it's, who knows what exactly doing it. But he sent me the screenshots, and the second screenshot had just like 5 pixels of the log menu, and I could just see the error message that said, "Warning, trying." Basically it was the error that I think Brian wrote that basically tells you Binary Ninja is trying to make functions in a spot that's not marked as code, so it's not going to do it, but you might want to fix that, right? So like it literally told you exactly what you need to do, told you exactly what the problem was, and so I said, hey, remember that thing I said about section and segment permissions? Go right click on the section and change the semantics and mark it as code for wherever there should be code, and sure enough that fixed the problem. So yeah, all that to say, sometimes the logs do exactly what they're supposed to, and do that. So while this is actually building, I'm going to come back over because I also need to install the BinaryDiff plugin into Binary Ninja, because it's already there. It's already there and enabled. Great. And this one did have protobuf. That's funny. We could have. I wonder. Oh, if that one has a. I'm really curious. There we go. Oh, there was no requirements. If that one had requirements, that would have been amazing. If it already had requirements, and we could have demoed both changes with that at the same time. Yeah, so clearly my previous build had built protobuf, and I didn't remember using the same Linux folder, but Linux build folder, but I guess you do that one over again. So building protobuf is going to take a little bit of time. Yeah, so I'm trying to think whatever else is going on. I think I kind of caught everybody else up last week on what's been going on. There is another binary diffing tool that I've been hearing rumors about that we might see soon. I just asked folks about it. They said they're working it. They're looking at getting it out there. So you should see another binary diff tool coming out just for Binary Ninja sometime soon. So I look forward to getting that out. Maybe we'll get the plugin authors on stream when it's available and finished. It'd be kind of fun. I would like to get more into binary diffing. I think it is a really useful thing, and I know Maddie Stone actually had a really nice write up, and I think she gave kind of a talk about using BinDiff tools and using diaphora versus using BinDiff and the sort of strengths and weaknesses of each. A year or two ago, I want to say Jailbreak maybe, or it was a different con, but I remember her giving that talk. So. I'm not gonna give any spoilers. I will make no comments about anything that is not mine to share. I just happen to have heard, a little birdie told me that there might be something coming. And I will let the plugin authors take the deserved glory for their work and also blame if it goes badly, right? So I don't wanna to fault. No, I'm sure it'll be good. I look forward to showing it off. So yeah, we'll see when that happens. But But yeah, and actually, I mean, at some point, we talked about even doing our function matching, because our signature libraries. I don't know, like I still feel like there's like this potential grand unified theory of binary diffing and binary function function fingerprinting, right? Like there's a reason that couldn't be the same tech. Um, and with obviously there's some differences of what you'd want to do with a differ versus function signatures, but there's also a lot of overlap. So I think it's an interesting domain. Yeah, Josh, you need to get yourself like 20% time. Get yourself some like Google 20% where you can just go work on IL diffing uh, analysis. Yeah, I mean you could HLIL and like AST diff. There's probably actually a bunch of like source code diffing techniques that you could apply on HLIL AST. But I also feel like somebody might have done that with IDA or Gita or something else too, if it was that easy. So I'm curious. I imagine like that. I'm sure there's some hard things there. But yeah, it'd be interesting. I would very much like to see it. Be kind of cool. Yeah. Yeah, the AST is the arguably, I mean, the HLIL control flow recovery is really nice and sort of human readable, like decompilation. It is much more concise, and we're going to continue to improve the quality of the output. But the fact that it actually also comes in AST is pretty nifty. I don't remember. So I know Yaxon was talking about he was actually talking about doing an IL based thing, and then I think he had to kind of back burner it. He didn't. You were talking about not having the time for it. I think he had the kind of same situation where he was doing that on the side from some of his day to day stuff, and that was a couple years ago when he was talking about doing something IL based. I don't remember if it works AST based or not. Let me go see. Okay. Being declare core ABI version does not have a type. All right, let me first find where the binary API is here and see if we've got references to that. Well, actually, let's try this. Core ABI version. At least our rebuilds will be fast now. Okay, so we've got that one there. And let's go to... Can I... Good enough. Yeah, so it's defined at binary core.h. So why is... Okay, so what version are we? So it's not pulling the right version. So let's go to build Linux deps. This is where I'm learning about the build infrastructure for BinExport here on the fly. Actually, here, let's do that. BinDiff binary ninja core.h binary ninja API binary ninja core.h. Oh, I don't have vimdiff. Wait, hold on. NVimDiff? I'm positive I have NVim. Do I not have... Wait. Which NVim? Apt search NVim. Do I not have... vimdiff from neither. Okay, well, I'll just apt install. I don't know what vim I've actually got installed then, but that's all right. We'll install another neovim. Why not? Do the frequency analysis for my stream VM. Wait, what? It's just not a path? Diff mode -d. That'll work. Nvim - okay. Huh. I don't know why vimdiff is not. Also, these wisps are killing me with that prompt being just off the end. Nvim -d. Oh, right. Yeah, this is gonna not work real well. Let's move this over here. Okay. So, yeah, this is clearly not the same. So what happened here? Yeah, this is an old commit. Is that hash not working? Or did it use this? Oh, maybe it defaults to stable and I have to specify. I bet that's what happens. I bet I have to specify. Okay, so where do we go here? Let's go to where cd BinDiff, cd BinExport, cd build Linux, cd deps, Ninja API. Actually, I wonder if I can. Is it under get? It is. Oh yeah, it's 2A10. Okay, that's good. We can use that to verify. Uh, Wrong folder, so you can export. Then do that. 2A10. Yeah, okay, so it is trying to do if BinExport binary ninja underscore channel equals underscore or equals stable. Okay, so I need to set that when I do my Linux. Equals dev. Right. We're not doing ninja this time. All right, let's do it. Let's not do a full rebuild again. Let's trust it. Release. What was the release again? That was the other terminal. That's why. Build. You make dash build. That was it. That was it. Where'd it go? So you make dash build. Dot. Okay. Config release. That is different. I don't think it matters though. Oh, the Mac one, you can calculate that. Batch file, there's Windows. Yeah, so that was right. Okay. All right. Hey-o. Looking better. Excellent. All right. Look at that. We got 20 people on the stream. Hey, everybody. While we're waiting for this to build, anybody missed the earlier stuff and want a brief recap, or are you just going to catch it later in the VOD? I'm actually, I feel like this is actually going reasonably well, which was a little worried about. It's not done yet, of course, but I was worried something would be more broken. Because like I said, I'm the worst at C++. So let's see here. But I mean, this is a Google engineering project. Yeah, scripting providers. So it actually came up without naming names. Josh, Peter mentioned that the fact that Binary Ninja has a scripting provider and multiple, you could implement a different scripting provider, not just Python, even though that's what we ship with. Does the Python scripting provider API work yet? I'm not sure what you mean by that. It obviously works because that's what we're using in Binary Ninja. Otherwise, this wouldn't work. So it works, but I'm not sure what, I don't think that's what you mean then. So, all right. So now, Binary Ninja plugins. Actually, you don't have to do anything. We should just be able to restart Ninja. Let's see if it loads. All right, BinExport is loaded. Excellent. Yeah, so that's part of the reason why I'm doing this is I wanted to kind of go through the process of getting BinDiff like working, using the plugin, getting the export, and then once it's done, we can put together more kind of a concise list. Yeah, I mean, scripting providers are kind of low priority. Like we don't really expect too many people to make other ones, but and we'll just happily tell you what you need to know. But I don't know. I'm a little torn because on the one hand, it feels like a lot of documentation on something that 3 other people are going to use maybe isn't the best use of our time, but we don't really want you to be doing be doing reverse engineering the core if you can help it, right? So I don't know. I'm of two minds on that, but all right. So let's get now to the meat of it. So we've got BinExport compiled. We're gonna try it and see how it works here to create the JSON files that, or is it JSON, or is, I forget if it's directly to the database. We'll check it out. That BinDiff needs. And then we'll be able to use BinDiff to generate the BinDiff output files, and then we'll be able to use the BD viewer built into Binary Ninja to view the two libraries side by side. So yeah, that's right. If you haven't already applied for our summer internship and you're a college student and would like to, you should apply now so you too can help work on this cool product. All right, Valgrind, which language are you going to use? Or are you going Lua? Are you going to go Yeah, we do try to document. We try to document, but there's a lot of things to document, and it's a question of why is that in a snap? I don't. Oh, I know what that was from. All right, that was me just like literally finding any PNG in my box. Okay, so I'm actually gonna nuke this because I've got a later version now. Yeah, we'll do this. This is post patch and pre patch. So I opened up two kernel modules on Windows. These are the ones that had the exploit in it. And so I'm going to open this one up. I'm not going to use BinDiff right away because what I need to do is you'll notice this one has a PDB with much better symbol information. So we're going to definitely add that because that will only make our analysis more accurate and make it easier to understand. Pike, what even is Pike? That's a language? The Pike programming language, Java and C. Well, that sounds like a great scripting language. Sorry, was that sarcasm a little bit much there? I would like to see examples of Pike. So actually, I guess I could do that while I'm letting this binary analyze. Yeah, so big files with lots of complexity. You'll get some warnings potentially. This is the sanity checks kicking in and being like, nope, we're not doing any more optimizations here. We might be stuck in a loop, or just in general, it's too complex. So there's a couple of fail safes that will stop analysis at different levels for that reason, which you can tune, right? So just worth pointing out. Under analysis, there's a lot of different things you can do, or you can set how long you want things to go. All right, so that file's done. I think I probably could have done this in the middle of it. And by the way, look at how concise that right-click menu is in the plugin menu. Maybe a little too concise. Got some more changes probably on the way for that, but it is cleaner. So we're going to load the PDB from the Microsoft server. It did download from that, but it did download from that. So we've got a PDB, and it's applying it now, kicking off analysis again. We're going to save the BNDB. And I think so. Let's look at this. We've got our we've got BinExport. It's loaded, and I can trigger it through the action system. So I'm going to wait until I've generated my two BNDBs, because if I recall, this was the yeah. I mean, all right. Oh, by the way, speaking of Python, is everybody excited for switch cases? I mean, excuse me, pattern matching coming to Python 3.10 later this year? It looks interesting. But they had to split the PEP into like 3 different ones, one to document and one to throw the example. Yeah, it only took them 30 years. Exactly. Welcome to 30 years ago's language features. I don't know why they wouldn't have done that. It's so funny. Even my kids are kind of learning Python. My daughter's doing a school, and my son has wanted to learn programming stuff, and I'll show him some basic stuff. And inevitably, I'm like, yeah, and this is where like a switch would be really, really helpful, but we don't have that now. All right, so there is the post BNDB. So we've analyzed that one. And we're going to save that BNDB. Let's just try this right off the bat. I had a pre one already done in there, and I don't remember what happened with it, but I don't think I have BinExport, which is why I got sidetracked. So let's try this and see what happens. There we go. Okay, so you literally just run it and it writes out all the data. So let's go look in our BinDiff folder. BinDiff, BinExport. Oh no, it's right here. File. Went through to get. Oh, these are old. Oh, hold on. CDE. That was, yeah, those are old files the first time I was testing this. There's the new one. File star.binexport. Data. Right, protobuf. We should know that. We saw protobuf being used. So this is actually, Joe, this is done by the BinExport tool. And I think we'd actually have to go look more at BinExport. But it doesn't actually know anything about the code, I don't think. I think it's just doing, or the IL is just doing the assembly and the basic blocks. And it uses that in its own protobuf representation. But let's actually read through this real quick. So I think it describes, yeah, and it can, yeah, and it can work with PostgreSQL. I think they added protobuf after the fact, actually. I think the original one only was Postgres when it first came out. So, and it can do, yeah, you could dump the disassemblies to a couple different formats. So I guess, oh, look, see, the IDA one gets these fancy buttons. The Binja one just dumps it straight to the file. You know what? I'll take it. It's working. Okay, so now that I've got that one, that was post, there's pre.bndb, so let's open the pre.bndb one. And this one should already have the symbols and stuff applied to it, because I think I did it after analysis. Yeah, so it's pretty much good. Although analysis might be getting kicked off because that was done on a prior version of Binja, so that's fine. Let it go a little bit. Shushang, welcome. Oh, you get to you up early. Welcome to the stream. You don't always get to make it this early. I mean, we already are shipping more and more components in Rust. So it's been a slow takeover, but it's happening. There's the C++ template demangling code is in Rust. The core download provider, which is the default download provider, is written in Rust, and the new dwarf ingest debug API endpoint is written in Rust. So yeah, we're getting more and more. It's a good language. I think the consensus amongst the company is that the actual developers, not me, because again, I'm not the I'll handle Python, but the native stuff I'm not as good with. But the rest of the folks, consensus is that we probably would have written Binja and Rust if we were writing it today. It's a good time for it. So okay, so we're gonna BinExport here, and it's gonna dump out another .BinExport file. It would be nice if this was a background tab or had a UI or something. A little waiting, but that's actually still pretty fast. This is a big. Yeah, that's like a 35 megabyte BNDB. Oops. Yeah, 35 megabyte BNDB, the whole analysis database, and it dumped it out pretty fast. That's a good example where you wouldn't want a Python plugin. That would be super slow to do that same thing in Python. Oh yeah, that's fair. That's right. Sorry. Yeah, everything except the GUI should be rewritten in, or could be rewritten in Rust. What's the, are we a GUI yet? I think I've showed that on stream before, but is the Rust no, there is no GUIs worth doing in Rust yet. Like, there's a lot of broken things. Ritual Qt bindings. I mean, that would be what I would want. I think Qt is still the right choice for a cross-platform. Either that or your only real options are that or Electron. So, all right. So now we've generated 2 BinExport files. And now, what do we do next? I actually forget. BinDiff, BinExport. So BinExport is going to export them, but then BinDiff. Let me go back to my console because I had this working at one point. Parts of this anyways. So I've got BinDiff installed. I don't remember how I installed it on this particular box, but I think I just built it. So I built it. Let's go do that. At least look at that. But basically, yeah, BinDiff is already pre-built, so you just grab BinDiff itself. Even though, so this one is the one of those. It's not open source yet, but it is free. And so you just download and install it from there. And that'll give you the BinDiff command line, right? And let's actually go back to look at is there the help here, or is it? I don't remember. Let's just look at the command line. This is how I did it before. So we can specify the primary, we can specify the secondary. I don't know if there's a convention of ones before and ones after, but we should be able to just point this at our two. There's a UI even. Let's try the UI actually. BinDiff UI. Oh, right. This is the one that keeps coming up on my analysis. Yeah, I'm actually not going to use the BinDiff UI. You certainly could, but we're going to just do it on the command line. And we're going to do primary. Actually, you can just do primary and secondary. Let's just do that. So it's BinDiff. Nope, wrong folder. Let me, before I forget here, I'm going to old. All right. Otherwise, I'm going to get confused and do the wrong thing. BinDiff BinExport and Win32k full post BinExport. So now BinDiff is doing its magic, right? Where it's doing all the fancy analysis to actually find out what's the same, what's different, what's changed. It looks like we got a lot of good confidence, which I would hope so. These are 1 month apart Win32k full sys ones. So now we've got a .bindiff file. All right. So now again, we can use the BinDiff viewer at this point, or we can use the BD plugin. BinDiff viewer, right? And it's going to ask for the match file. And so we're just pointing at the BinDiff and the current view role. Oh, primary, secondary. This one here. I forget which file we're on. Which one is this? My font size is too big. File name. So this file is pre. So this is primary, this tab that I'm looking at here. I don't know if I think I closed this one down. Let me actually shrink my font size down a little bit, because if I'm going to be doing side-by-side stuff, this might be helpful. So let's try. Oh, that's interesting. I don't know what generated that. Not sure if that was BinDiff or what. All right, BinDiff viewer, and here's our analysis file, and this is primary. So this is primary. Just to confirm, I did that with pre as primary. Yep. All right. Now the only downside here is that my window manager does not. I don't remember. It's like this floating dialogue. So I'm not going to get the best experience on this with that. I think I can turn it off. I don't remember. How do I undock? I guess I could do that. Oops. That was the wrong hotkey. BinDiff viewer. It's pretty fast. That was a nice and quick. So there's primary. So what I want are something with a high confidence but low similarity, right? That would presumably be where things have changed. So let's go ahead and let's just take a look. We're going to cheat the test a little bit, and we're going to look at what this report claims has changed in this, and then we're going to go and look and see if we found it, right? So this is a piece of malware that was using a privesc in Win32k full.sys. Apparently, in the wild sample would just blue screen, but it's at least going to get us to the vulnerability. So I actually haven't read this yet, so we're going to make this one realistic. And so this is the exploit. Destroy window. So let's see if they talk about the patch here at all. That's the trigger effect. Well, I mean, it looks like create window is going to be is going to be changed. So that's again nice that we have these symbols. I wonder if I can filter here. Can I do it? Yeah. So I can type on it and it focuses it. Can I sort these? Nice, okay. So here's functions with no names, internal ones, yeah. And then here's the other ones. So I can look for create window. Oh, it's going to be is it like the ZW ones or XX? Yeah, I need to do this. How? So this is a modal one though too. So I don't know if I can do this. Can I move that to 2? And can I still interact with this, or is it locked? Okay. So yeah, it's XX create window EX. Looks like the symbols here. It would be nice if I had filtered views here, right? So if I could, so I think also, yeah. So if I double click this list is nice. That this would work better if I had again like a different window manager, or if I knew the bindings a little bit better. But I can find the one that I want and navigate to it. Let's go back to least similarity again. Something with high confidence but least similarity. So these are things that have changed. Client rec changed a little bit. I think it does zoom in. Actually, hold on. I think I can. There's a way to resize this. I don't remember the hotkeys. Init look aside, cancel tracking, client call when event proc. Yeah, so I think I'm not going to spend the remainder of the stream flailing at reverse engineering when we figure out what they've actually changed. The main thing I want to get to is seeing the data. It does indeed, and yeah, the other nice thing too is you'll see that these are all 1.0 matches. So it got out of how many? Out of 9,000 functions, it got all but like 50. Less than that. I mean, this is maybe 50 functions that it was able to completely identify as totally unupdated. So you've got this bug that you want to RE. Could see what the actually. I wonder if I think there's a way to do more. I'm trying to remember. Let's see. We could also try the actual BinDiff viewer too. I think there was another view if memory serves. Yeah, so actually, in the example here, piston miner is using the UI to generate the same files. I just ran BinDiff the command line to get the same thing. And then you've got the viewer, you import it. Excuse me. Looks pretty good. Oh yeah, so it's not a modal dialog, which is nice. Oh, wait, there was something on the right click there. What was that? Let's see. Oh, port symbols. Oh yeah, that's really nice too. Right? So we can take the symbols from an old database and port them over as well. That's one of the other really nice applications of this, which is a little bit similar to Ghidra's kind of like long-term symbol tracking. You could have a function where, this function is unnamed. We don't know what this function is, but we're pretty sure it's the same function in the sort of before and after. 20, does it not navigate by address? Oh, interesting. That might be a bug. 3CB20. Oops. So, oh no, that is it. Oh, that's right. We're just in high level IL view, which is why the first address isn't necessarily the map. So that one is the same. Okay, interesting. Finished stock font in it has an address here, but doesn't over here. Interesting. Let's try something else too. So since we've got this, let us go to BinDiff, BinExport, see, BinDiff. I think by itself we give it the UI. No. All right, and let's make a new workspace. Sure. No, I mean, then let's open the old workspace just like I meant to. And diffs, add an existing diff. We've already got our, oh, Java's file pickers are the worst. This is one of my other beefs with Geeter too. Like you can't type in here to like, if you got a large list of files, the worst. Anyway, all right, so let's put the BinDiff. Primary is pre, secondary is post, diff destination. Assume that's the UI. Let's do that. There we go. BinDiff uses assembly, but I don't know if it has hard coded assumptions about the architecture or not. It might just pull out mnemonics and not, well, no, it's got architecture here and it says x64, but I don't know if that means it requires them or has differences for them. I'm not sure. And again, BinDiff itself is not open source, although it's Java, right? I don't know how much, if there's like an analysis core that's native. So you could take a look at it, but I actually don't know much about how it operates. So yeah, BinExport we won't really. I mean, we could look in here and see if there's a lot of because I'll build stuff and third party. Yeah, it's all third party. So this one looks like it does not have any architecture specific stuff in BinExport. So export will just write out the protobuf representation of the binary, but I don't know internally. But I would hope that they didn't make anything assembly specific. And again, this wouldn't really be Binja and BNIL related. This would just be because they chose to treat disassembly tokens as disassembly tokens without worrying about the semantics of it. From my understanding, they do work on basically disassembly tokens and the operations, and not like the meaning of them, but the fact that they're unique operations, and they kind of put it into analysis goes here. It's been a really long time since I looked at how they actually work to do that. So yeah, so we've got let's close this one down. So can I? Yeah, and I actually don't know how to use BinDiff. Like I said, I haven't really used it. And again, this is really nice. You see most everything is really, really well matched. Very small amount of change things. We could just go look at those things. How do I open diff? Is that what I'm already looking at here? Or is this a different view? Let's see. Yeah, but the nice thing is for a while, even when BinDiff was free and made available, you still had to have I to even generate those BinExport files. But oh, this is not looking good. But now the nice thing is you can use either Ghidra or Binary Ninja, and then you could still use the BinDiff UI to go back and look at things. But that's it. Yeah, like I said, I don't know enough about BinDiff to be showing off much more than that, but it's working. Yeah, if somebody else has any time to do it, I don't know what this is doing. This appears to be uh-huh. What is actually, oh, it's done now. Okay, so did it finish? No, didn't finish. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that's doing. But the results look good. Data looks about right. So yeah, anyway, that's I think about all I'm gonna do probably today on stream, unless there's any more questions. Got through the topics I was hoping to do, and I'm gonna go make the kids some dinner, or let them make me dinner. Maybe we'll see. We'll see how the state of the house is out there. But yeah, thanks everybody for dropping in. Appreciate guys. If you have questions, this was one of my last kind of big things that I knew I wanted to get done on stream, was to use this plugin. And so I think the only other ideas I had after this were just pick out a CTF challenge and start kind of working through it. and using BinDiff for that. Oh, hey, Piston Miner. Yeah. Oh, look at this. I can't leave you hanging. Yeah, here's your plugin in action. With the caveat that the window manager I'm using is kind of janky. It's one of those tiling window managers, and I don't know the hotkeys as well. And there we go. That's how I can make it bigger. Okay, I can't make it bigger. Move it. So that was my my fault a little bit. But yeah, no. The short summary is I took the two Win32k full.sys kernel modules from Windows 10 from the recent CVE about a privesc that was linked. Yeah, BinDiff itself is having some problems here, but I'm not sure what I did wrong with that or why that was not working. But the viewer, yeah, it gave us our match functions. I think if it were just me starting from like scratch, first principles, it would be nice if I could have like two binges side by side that were each, navigating to the respective functions. Like if I split the split view between them to look at it. But yeah, it's already nice. So like we already identified between those two updates, not a lot changed. Oh, that is one minor thing, is that I think if you click to navigate, it focuses the name column or the address or what, it's p name. So it kind of like scrolls you to the left if you have really long functions. So you probably just didn't diff something that had super, super long function names like this. And actually, we could demangle these too. You can use our if you just use, so you're probably getting this data directly from BinDiff itself. But like, actually, yeah, let's go to one of these long ones. But you'll notice in Binja, wait, what? That's not a security cookie. So navigating. Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. Yep, I was on the wrong tab. Store. Yeah, there it is. Okay. So you'll notice the short name, current function name, is the full name. I think is it short name? Symbol.short name. Yeah, symbol.short name. That'll work. Right. So you can get more concise names out of there. Yeah, it's after the navigation. I'm not sure which thing is causing it, but oh yeah, there's another good one too. So that one, yeah, it actually might be nice. Wait, is that another store config one? No, that's a hit or raw input. Oh, there we go. Maybe I just didn't let it update. But yeah, so the if you do the short names, it'll be a little bit more readable instead of the demangled names. Or the mangled names rather. There's a full name. There's also full name, which at least shows it as the full type. If you want to do that, that might be nicer than pull this out. But like I said, I think you might be pulling that data directly from BinDiff. But I mean, you got the addresses, so you could probably pull that. Yeah, just having a setting, or either a UI thing you could do here, or do multiple, right? Like if you actually had different columns. Oh, right. Yeah, these are auto ones. Have them say sub underscore whatever, like if there's none. Although actually, you know what? That was one of the questions. This one does. Some of these do have symbols. So again, I don't know what you're getting back from the BinDiff parsing, but like that definitely has a name, and it's 84C0. Which is the start of that function. So there's some of these are not sure quite right. So that is one minor bug. Not sure what's causing that, and I think it's in both of them. And I guess actually the other nice thing would be is if on this list I could see what it matched in the other binary. Like what's the offset of the match against to be able to navigate in the other binary. Oh wait, is it there? Do I just need to go over here? Oh no, that's cool. It's the algorithm. Okay. Yeah, so PDBs, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised these all matched because these literally had the same name. They all had the same name except for, interesting. There's a couple here that didn't match with a name. Is that because the name doesn't exist? Yeah, that one doesn't actually have a name. So the PDB doesn't load a name for that. And so the algorithm actually had to use a different technique to identify that. That's cool. PS name and address. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what it is? I think it's just so wide that I can't see it. Oh, that's why. Yeah, definitely using short name would clean that up a lot. Or having like a max width that you drop the column to. I think that's what it was. I was scrolling past. Yeah, it is. It's both. P and S, source and prefix. I see that now. Thank you. That makes sense. Yeah, and filter search. Filter search was the other one. Thanks, Valgrind, for mentioning that. Just being able to type here, like create window, the way that you can in the Binja to filter down the list. Doing the filter search on the contents of, either of the name fields would be super nice. And I mean, this is a pretty big list of functions. So there's 9,000 functions, and it's a Python UI. So it's a little laggy, but like that's usable. That's very usable. So pretty happy with like the performance of it. This is a pretty big binary. Yeah, no, low perf was great. And again, this is a VM. I don't remember if I have 2 or 4 cores in this VM, but it's not like it's only got like half or less of the total cores on my host, which is a laptop. So this is not a like super crazy beefy machine that I'm running it on, and it was more than usable through the whole process. Now, I think the actual load here, I'll show you the full load process. Actually, let's go back to this other binary instead. So this is the secondary one. And let's load the same export file. But this is the secondary. I just have both of them open. Yeah, right? Like, that was fast. That was very, very, very usable. Oh, this is interesting. So this one... No, it does have some missing still. I bet those are still there. Let's send that to 2. Make it bigger. Right click? Yeah, right click and command. Anyway, yeah, so I think that the only real annoyances are just the column width, because this thing has some crazy large function names. So short name, using the Binja short name would be super easy there. And or even the full name, but getting the demangle one would look much nicer. It'd be really, really clean. So no worries. No worries. Yeah, I mean, that potentially will slow down a little bit querying. I don't know how querying 10,000 symbols will do, but it should still be reasonably fast. So, yeah, no, it worked. So thanks again for your work on the plugin. It was fun to. It's weak and strong auto symbols. So yeah, you get. I don't remember enough about how the symbols work. I'm trying to remember if the namespaces can tell you, or the binding is one of those. Yeah, I don't remember enough about. Yeah. Oh, I got you. To be able to know. Yeah, because that one. So the problem is like auto symbols can be. Auto is not sufficient. Yeah, you need to know a little bit more to know if it's actual name. You don't excluding the string prefix. Right, yeah, that's exactly what Valgrind just said. Yeah, like you can check the string prefix. It's not a great solution. I haven't noticed that before. Was that from hovering the name here? It is. I didn't even notice the symbol list did that now. That's pretty cool. I'm curious. Don't show imports. Yeah, you can turn on the mangling or demangling. Yeah, I don't think there's I don't remember. I'll have to check in and ask some of the other Binja folks about that. I think this may have come up before. Oh, that makes sense. Kind of working. Oh, and in fact, I even saw the message about working around Binary Ninja normalization or something. Binary Ninja specific post processing. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to actually, while I'm thinking about it, I will add to our weekly stand-up chat. Weak strong symbols auto BinDiff piston miner. Hopefully that's enough to remind me of the topic at hand when we but have our team meeting. Cool. Yeah, well, I'm glad you made it, Piston Miner, because we showed off at the beginning of the stream. We showed off just some new features in like the dev branch and some test branch stuff. But then we spent the last half just doing this, building BinExport, getting them exported, running them through BinDiff, and then looking through your viewers. So yeah, perfect timing. Cool. All right. Well, thanks again, everybody. I had a great time hanging out. Yeah, I was glad too. I mean, I did do a test a couple weeks ago, but no, I think it works. It's very, very usable. There's little stuff to make it nicer, but it's definitely a nice workflow. We're glad to have that existing. So thanks to everybody again for hanging out. And as a reminder, next week we are not going to do the live stream. We're going to take a week off. I've been pretty on for a while since the new year, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break, and we'll catch everyone, I think, probably in the following week, but just keep an eye on Twitter, and we'll post it there. So take care, everybody.